here, and that is to not traffic in rumor. I try to give you facts as best I can and opinions and takes. But I also want to give you a sense of what it's like to be at the NFL Scouting Combine. When I say there's tea and it is spilled, it really makes the Boston Tea Party look like it was just one little pinky extended with one saucer. There is more tea spilled at the Combine, and people are so eager to do it. It's nonstop talk. You see them at the Combine. You see them in restaurants. You see them at the bar. You see them at midnight. You see them all over the place. A little coffee, a little this. You got a breakfast. You got a dinner. I mean, everyone is everywhere, and it's spilled. And I compiled a list of things that I heard for a top 5 list of rumors I've heard at the Combine. And I want to let you know before I get to it that what I put on this list, with the exception of the very last one, if you will, one more, I heard from multiple people, which is why they're on the list. Okay?
You get double sources.
What's up?
Of people just whispering, and I have no idea if any of this is 100% factual, which is what I like to say normally into this microphone. I feel like I've got my journalism degree now covered with me giving this long-winded caveat to trafficking in rumor. But I'm going to dive into the mosh pit to give you an idea of the stuff that I heard in Indianapolis.
You're like Varys. The birdies are just talking.
Correct. Hit it. My top 5 rumors I heard at the 2023 Scouting Combine. Just made the list. Here we go.
Top 5 rumors.
Top 5 on the list. We all know 2 teams that were quarterback needy at the end of the season, starting third stringers, and had a chance to go to the playoffs and maybe make a deep run in the playoffs, referring to the Miami Dolphins and, of course, the San Francisco 49ers. I heard at the Combine, number 5 on this list.
You heard.
That Phillip Rivers contacted both of them to come back late last year.
Oh, wow.
Called them?
Phillip Rivers contacted both of them, is what I heard, and that's the way I heard it. Wow. To see if they would come, and didn't happen. Don't know why it didn't happen. But I heard that at the Combine, that Phillip, once his season was over, is kind of like, so the 49ers are going with Mr. Irrelevant?
You guys need me?
And, all right, Florida's right next door to Alabama. You Dolphins need somebody to sidearm wing it and dadgummit down the field with Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. I could do that for you.
That one I feel like actually could have worked.
I heard that.
Brock Purdy was playing too well. But
at the Combine.
That's in Miami.
I figured, nice little juicy.
Mr. Cowboy. Okay. Shout out to Mr.
Number
Cowboy.
4 on this list. We know the story of the Combine. I told you it was a story of the non-playing season, as we refer to it, the off-season.
Shout out to Mr. Cowboy.
Because it's going to last a long time, I say. The minute that Lovie Smith bequeathed the first overall pick to the Chicago Bears, and the Bears having Justin Fields already. And I said all spring long, up until draft day, is going to be the story about what the Bears do with the first overall pick. Unless they have obviously trade it sooner. Number 4 on the list is the Bears are already long down the road of trading the first overall pick.
Okay.
Teams have been identified. Compensation is being hammered out.
Wow. Interesting.
Yeah. And sure enough, I saw Ryan Poles say today, I believe in Peter King's Football Morning in America column, if I'm not mistaken, saying that, hey, teams kind of want to know maybe before free agency begins if they have a draft pick high enough to take a kid. And if a team wants that quarterback certainty this early in the process, they're going to have to pay for it. Man, Poles is playing this thing like a
champ
so far.
Interesting.
So I hear the Bears are already long down the road in trading this first round draft choice. Number 3 on the list requires no setup. My spidey sense has been going off, and I'm telling you, I can't even say multiple people told me this. Number 3, on the rumors I heard at the Combine, it is not pretty between Lamar and the Ravens.
Yeah, I can believe that.
It is not pretty between the two of them. And there's franchise tags, as you all know, coming up. It's right around the corner tomorrow. Apparently, according to multiple reports, Eric DeCosta of the Baltimore Ravens visited Lamar in South Florida, in Miami. Nothing's been hammered out just yet.
Wow.
So
hard to believe.
That's number 3 on this list right here of top rumors that I heard at the scouting combine. Number 2 on the list.
Come on, Rich.
Oh, boy.
Number 2 on the list of rumors I heard at the combine. The Packers sure hope Aaron Rodgers
just wants to go. I can't blame him on that one.
Sure hope
Just like praying.
that when he comes up with his decision, it is, I wish to retire or I wish to be traded elsewhere.
Wow.
They do not want his response to be, let's run it back. When I say I heard that over and over and over again.
I can believe that one. I can believe that one.
And, you know, you have, and all of that. I do, once again, I cannot sit here and say I have facts from ground zero in
What is the number
Wisconsin,
one?
and clearly,
I can't wait to hear what the number one rumor
Rodgers has told you through his many appearances, certainly on McAfee's show, that nobody, like a very, very small subset of people, know what he's thinking. I'm saying hot rumor at the combine is the Packers want.
They're tired of it.
From Rodgers.
They're tired, boss.
No more. Because they also, I don't think, want to be the ones to end the relationship.
Right.
That, by the way, if he does come back, you know, you got a first ballot Hall of Famer coming back, but deep down, I'm hearing
They're tired
I
of
don't
it.
want that answer from him.
Wow.
Number 1, I heard from a couple people, and I figured let me make it number 1 because it involves the GOAT. Number 1 rumor I heard at the combine, not in terms of a lot of chatter, but this one just blew my mind.
Uh-oh.
Tom Brady may not be done after all.
Oh, shit.
What?
Oh, shit.
A couple people are like, just hang on, just you wait.
Wow.
Wait for
And I'm
what?
like,
What are you waiting for?
I'm like, he's Instagramming out videos of his cat.
You know? Trips.
Are you serious?
See over the weekend.
I know, but it doesn't look like he's getting big and fat, does it? And
Wow.
and he just let it play out. Let's see who wants what. And the one place that folks are saying keep an eye out for is
San
Miami.
Francisco. Miami.
And if the Dolphins cannot somehow, if they get somehow, some way, a doctor's report, a piece of information from a medical evaluation of Tua that he may not be ready to go, and suddenly there's
Wow.
Brady sitting in Florida.
That would be
his
crazy.
Family is located, and where he can easily locate himself.
Okay.
Keep an eye on that. I was told by a couple of birdies.
What's up, good people? Mark Holmes here, of course, with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo, as well as Joe Bear in the house. And as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. So let's get open for business here, and let's wake up the football gods. How's everybody doing? It is Monday night. We are less than 24 hours away from the franchise tag having to be put on players. We already have Tony Pollard, as well as Josh Jacobs have been added to the list, as well as Derrick Henry being shopped. Running backs are not getting paid. Running backs are not getting paid. But you know who is still getting paid? Quarterbacks. But before we get to that, let me say hello to Joanne Gonzalez. What's up, JoJo? How you doing tonight? Of course, Stacy Schubert. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Alicia. What's up, Alicia? How you doing? And we've got Gina Dallas, Diva, driving. Be careful out there. Be careful. Oh, it's Joanne, it's your birthday. Oh, my goodness. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday. Happy birthday, Joanne Gonzalez. What are you, 28 years old today? I bet you. Oh, no, I'm sorry. You're 29. You're 29. Shout out to Joanne Gonzalez. Everybody give her a happy birthday. He was not cut. No, they're not cutting him. They're trying to trade him. They're trying to get some compensation because he still has, some tread on the tires. But they are, to basically say, they're blowing the shit up. They're blowing the shit up. Now, I want to address, I get a lot of comments. I get a lot of emails and things like that. And I need to address one because they take, I'm beginning to think that this was Jerry Jones who actually is this person. Steve, I'm just going to say Steve sent me an email. He sent me an email and he said, let me read what it says. So the Eagles have over 30 million in dead money and other teams have millions in dead money. You always talk about how the Cowboys have tons of dead money, but it looks like to me that we aren't the only team with dead money, Mark. So why don't we start being fair? I would say the Cowboys are middle of the pack when it comes to dead money, but you make it sound like they are incompetent, but I see that's not the case. Okay, so let me make sure I get this. Let me pull this up here right now because we're going by this year. Now, here's what I did. If you make mistakes on contracts, everybody does, but it precludes you from being able to do it if you do it on a regular basis. And this is where I was just going through as Jerry Jones talked about, dead money. So yes, you look at this. The Bears have 22 million this year in dead money. The Falcons have 16 million in dead money. The Giants have 8 million. The Texans have 1.9. The Raiders have 29 million. Bengals have 500,000. Patriots have 1.3, Seahawks 5.8. And going down here, for the most part, there are some outliers. The Eagles actually have 54 million, which is the tops. And the Panthers have 28. That's mostly Christian McCaffrey, I believe. But for the most part, you see, 3, 4, 2, the Chiefs only have 98,000. That's it for their dead money. But the thing with the Cowboys is, it's consistent every single year. Listen, 2017, 9.5, 2018, 26, 2020, 11, 2021, 13, 2022, 17. This year, 8.5. We're paying out Lyle Collins, Alan Williams. What's up, Alan? Point being is, if Jerry Jones wasn't doing the contracts where, let's be real, when you looked at and said, Jalen Smith, we're getting him how much money? And this has been not something new. Because see, what we end up doing is, and see, it's not that, it's amazing that we actually have somebody defending what the Cowboys are doing. That's what really kind of gets me there, is that they're actually defending the Cowboys. See, I can look and say, yeah, the Rams are going to have a lot of dead money because they went all in and bringing people in there and trying to win a Super Bowl. They came, they won one, and now they've got a lot of dead money. These teams, most of them have dead money from actually trying to get some free agents that may have not worked out. We believe in our own players. We hold on to our players where they literally have flat tires. I went walking yesterday and I was trying to jog a little bit with the dog. With my bad knees, I've got 6 knee operations between the two of them. And I felt like I had 2 flat tires trying to run. I could, I look like an old man running. If I ever have Jason come out, trying to kill me, I'm just going to be dead because I can't run. Lola, Miss Hot Sauce, what's up? His knees are just that bad. I'm going to have to fight him, okay? But that's literally what the Cowboys do with their players. Instead of us going through and saying, you know what, it's time to move on, let's trade a guy like, say, I don't know, the Titans are like, Derrick Henry, we owe him a lot of money. He's getting longer in the tooth. Running backs aren't as valuable. Let's see if we can get something for him and trade him. We don't do that. Typically, we hold on to them until they're completely worthless. and overpaid. Tyrone Crawford, for example. Tyrone Crawford, last 3 years of his deal, $29 million. $29 million for 8 sacks and 27 tackles and 6 tackles for loss. I'm going to say the D-Law contract. D-Law is good, but is he $100 million good? Would the Cowboys have been better off had they traded DeMarcus Lawrence and got, at his peak, getting high draft compensation? That's my point here. As we look at making the same mistakes over and over again, we paid Zeke Elliott. And here's where it really doesn't make sense. We weren't winning Super Bowls when Zeke had fresh legs. And now that his numbers are getting worse, Jerry talks about still bringing him back. Where we have a draft that is full of great young running backs. It's not that I don't like Zeke. It's not that I don't want to see him on the team. But as I look at us paying $17 million on the cap because they didn't know how to negotiate or they weren't ready to move on, it's ridiculous. We are about to spend, and I'm pretty sure that Zeke will be cut. But even with Zeke being cut, best case scenario is we will still spend, Lordy, $16 million on running backs. Running backs. And here it is, Josh Jacobs, who 1,600 yards last year. I mean, at least he's franchise tagged for $10 million. We're spending $16 million for 2 guys, one that's not even on the team. Cortland Sutton, yeah. And see, this is where you start looking around because there are guys. I'm not saying that he's not a beast, though, game time, but my point being is, have we gotten the value out of him? He's $26 million this year. Are you thinking that we're getting $26 million worth of production out of him this year? At 31? Just say, again, maybe D-Law is not the right one, but I can look at Jalen Smith. I can look at Tyrone Crawford. I can look at the money we spent for Zeke Elliott. We not only reset the market, we blew it out of the water, and it's still, the Joneses won't admit they made a mistake. In the same way, they look and they say, well, Amari Cooper, that's too much money. So wait a minute. Wait. You only saved $15 million on Amari Cooper last year. $15 million. Okay. And you have $17 million tied up in Zeke. Which do you think we would have been better suited having last year? Amari Cooper or Zeke? That's my point. And, all of these things are cumulative, okay? So true, yes, teams have dead money. We had dead money, 20-some million with Tony Romo and, 13 with Des Bryant. Tons of dead money. We had dead money, 13 million with Lyle Collins. Boom. You can't make mistakes. You can't make mistakes like that continually and still think that you have a shot to win the Super Bowl. Game time, Brian. Dak needs to speak up. I agree with you on that one. Game time, I agree with you on that one 100%. The thing that kills me is Eagles make mistakes. They've sucked at drafting. And instead of them trying to cover up their mistakes. Because, see, we make mistakes like having a John Ridgeway. And I'm going to tell you, we're going to look back in a couple of years and we're going to say, God, how do we let that guy go? We had a guy, dirt cheap, defensive tackle, hungry as shit. And they thought they were cute. Well, we can put him on waivers and we can bring up somebody else. And he got snatched up. He played as good as any of the interior linemen that we had on the team, numbers-wise, for the Commanders. You had him for 4 years, dirt cheap. And your mismanagement, your arrogance or whatever, just let him go. Just let him go. It's stupid. And here we are. We're talking about, well, you know, we're going to bring back Tyron Smith. We're going to bring back Zeke Elliott. You know, wait a minute. But then we got to lose Van Der Esch and Donovan Wilson. So when you talk about keeping Zeke, it's not just keeping Zeke. If you don't want to restructure contracts and get some money to try and bring some other people, then that's the money that would go for Donovan Wilson, a guy with 100-plus tackles last year. That's your Leighton Van Der Esch. Basically, it's those two players with what you're going to lose with Zeke. Yeah, well, see, they were wise enough to let Byron Jones go. They were wise enough to let, that was one of those ones. Hey, I tell you what, when you look at the big contracts on these guys, be it Tony Romo, be it Des Bryant, be it Zeke Elliott, be it Marion Barber, Jay Ratcliffe, Miles Austin, and you can go down the line where we've said we can't live without these guys and we pay them a whole bunch of money. I don't know that we've had dividends on any of them. I honestly don't. And then for the Joneses to be so arrogant to just say, you know, it's Dak Prescott's got to step up his game because, you know, when you pay that kind of money, you expect him to be your fall guy? We got the worst wide receiving core and separation in football. And we just look at it and say, that quarterback sucks. Come on, man. Come on. But the quarterback carousal goes on, okay? We know that, I'm still amazed how everybody is on Derek Carr. Derek Carr. That Derek Carr is a great quarterback. Is a great quarterback. Oh, my God, Derek Carr. It's not like Derek Carr's never had any. I mean, that he's had weapons. You know, because it's a shame he was with those bums, the Raiders, that had, you know, terrible running back, terrible wide receivers, terrible tight ends. You know? Yeah. Oh, James. Yeah, I saw that clip of him playing in Mexico in the Mexican League. Yeah, he is like doing it up. Cooper had 1,200 yards this year with Jacoby Brissett. Yes. Yeah. Could you imagine what 1,200 yards with CeeDee Lamb would have been like this year with that defense? Oh, here we go. Troll number one. Coach Terrence, who is on the C.J. Stroud bandwagon. That sounds good in theory. Coach Terrence. But where are you getting the draft capital to move up to top 3 pick? Oh, I'm sorry. You want Derek Carr too, right? Oh, Derek Carr. Yes. Okay. You know, Coach Terrence.
Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
He is the bomb diggity. Well, you know what, Coach Terrence? I'm not going to deal with hypotheticals because you're not getting C.J. Stroud. You can dream about that. You can talk about that. But there's no way in the world that you're going to be able to move up to get C.J. Stroud. So why waste the energy on that? We're talking about the Joneses. The Joneses. Oh, I see the Eagles are back to life now. Participation Prescott. We have a new one. Oh, shout out to the original Eagle trolls that are trying to cover up their hot L in the Super Bowl. Okay. I'll take Bud Dupree. You can't even throw Bryce Young. You can even throw Bryce Young in there too. Okay, well, I'm going to say CJ Stroud. We'll see how he does in the pros. Because CJ Stroud is great when he has things perfect. Not so good under pressure thus far in college. But I'm just saying. GG, is Jerry setting up McCarthy and Dak? That doesn't make any sense. This is what's crazy. You're going to keep Zeke and Wilson to walk out I know Ronnie Young. I can't figure it. I can't figure it. I wish I had the answers. Actually, we did get some good news though, Brian. We're not quite 18 over because we have the rollover effect. We ended up actually getting $6 million from last year. Added to our number. So I think technically we're only 9 million. I think it's actually 9 because we were 7 minus the 1. 7 leaves minus 1. And then we ended up spending the 10. So that's 1. And then the 4. So I think we're only like 5 or 6. Coach Terrence, troll number 1. I tell you what, if you have some improvements, in your wide receivers, get rid of Clifford Franklin. Sorry. Let's see if Michael Gallup can have 2 legs to run on this year. Let's see if we can get a better pass blocking offense than 28th. Because I actually look at this differently than you. You guys keep saying, well, Dak sucks. It's kind of funny because a guy who had a broken thumb, whose offensive line was 28th in pass blocking win rate. Let me ask, is Noah Brown a number 2? How many teams is Noah Brown a number 2 on? Honestly, how many teams is Noah Brown a number 2 on? How many teams is Noah Brown a starter on? How many teams with the way Michael Gallup was this year is he a starter? I'm betting not a lot. You had 1 great receiver and 1 great running back who could not have more than 25 plays a game. Give me a little bit better offensive line. Give me a second wide receiver. And give me a decent third wide receiver or a healthy Michael Gallup. And I think, yes. Because I've seen him. I've seen him last year with the number 1 scoring offense. So, and I will say, what will Jalen Hurts have done on the Cowboys offense? Are you saying he's in the Super Bowl? Are you saying he's in the Super Bowl? Because, see, that's the thing that's always funny to me. We look around and here we have Daniel Jones, who may be in the $40 million club, a guy who's averaged 15 TDs a year. Let's look at this. Seriously, I just want you to look at this, guys, because now we got people who are like, oh man, let's get Daniel Jones. Look at this. Daniel Jones, 2022, 67% completion percentage. And now I get it. He doesn't have a lot of talent on there. 3,200 yards, 15 TDs, 5 interceptions. 21, 64% completions, 2,400 yards, 10 TDs, 7 interceptions. 2020, 6.25 completion percentage, 2,900 yards, 11 TDs, 10 touchdowns. 2019, 61% completions, 3,000 yards, 24 TDs, 12 interceptions. Mind you, as Dan Orlowski put it, going into this season, he had 50 touchdown passes and 49 turnovers. Revisionist history, we have Dak with one down year, and it's time to get rid of him. You have Daniel Jones with 3 pathetic years and 1 decent one, and he's great. Eagles for life. You know what? I tell you what. Are you new here? Are you new here? Have I properly welcomed you here?
I don't remember asking you a goddamn thing.
Oh, okay. All right. Don't call my quarterback a bum-ass quarterback, okay? Stop. We're literally talking, because you're stupid if you're actually saying I'm comparing him to top 3 quarterbacks. You're stupid if you think that Daniel Jones and Derek Carr are top 3 quarterbacks. You don't seem to understand that Derek Carr with Darren Waller, with Josh Jacobs is over 1,600 yards, the best wide receiver in football with Devontae Adams, with another decent receiver and Hunter Renfrow, had 1 less interception than Dak Prescott and got benched and kicked to the curb. How about that? How about that? And guess what? Take a look at some of those. He had his second year. He was great. He was great his second year. But that was 6 years ago. And if you are actually saying that Daniel Jones is a top 3 quarterback, then we have literally found the dumbest person on the planet. There is no way in hell. First of all, I wouldn't take Daniel Jones over Dak Prescott because Lord knows Daniel Jones has never, ever in his career sniffed a victory against the Dallas Cowboys even. Let's be clear here. Daniel Jones at $40+ million? Come on, man. And I'm going to tell you, too, Eastside, because I remember that, as you call it, that embarrassment on Thanksgiving. I remember the help that he got, that 15 extra yards where he's running, and Micah Parsons literally touched him like that. And he's, oh, my head. Come on, man. And Eastside, I don't know why you talking about somebody being embarrassed. You're a Texans fan. Your whole life is an embarrassment. The way the Eagles beat the Giants should never play football again. There you go. Carr hasn't been good, but now how many different coordinators and coaches did he have? Okay, all right. Well, he had John Gruden, who won a Super Bowl for several years. Just saying. But I thought, but hold on, Twiz. I thought that that a franchise quarterback makes everybody around them better. Are you actually saying, hold on, Twiz, are you actually saying that coaching matters? Are we now saying that coaching matters? Because we had Jason Garrett. We saw what Jason Garrett did with the Giants as offense coordinator, right? That was the guy we had running our offense. Ah, okay. And then we had Kellen Moore. Oh, boy. Yeah. Oh, Ronnie Young. There you go. That's where the Cowboys miscalculated. The Cowboys truly miscalculated. You know what? We would have been better off even if we had just kept Cedric Wilson. Cedric Wilson had 700 yards the year before. Michael Gallup and Noah Brown, neither of which made 500 yards on the team last year. Tony Douglas, what's up? Bookie Johnson, yes. How are you doing? Reven S., how are you doing? Frederick Cooper on Dak put up 40 on us. That was y'all's Super Bowl. I get it now. Well, Frederick Cooper, it's not like it was just the one time that he put 40 up on you. He owns you. The last 3 games have been averaging like 42 points a game. 40 burgers against you guys with Dak Prescott are a regular deal. You act like that was like, oh, okay, that was just nothing. In fact, I think Dak was the first one to throw over 300 yards against you guys last year. Zeke said he would take a pay cut to stay, but then his dad said, oh, he didn't say that. But the problem is this. Well, okay. Actually, what I think could happen, I could be crazy. Are we getting Kurt? I don't know if we're getting Odell. I don't really want Odell. I'm tired of broke down, injured people. You know, here's the problem I have with the Cowboys is they believe in guys. Okay, sure, the Cowboys signed by. Okay, Coach Terrence. Dak, Arthur Brown. Dak is the problem. Okay. The problem with the Cowboys is if you've got an injury, they love to sign you. Tony Pollard, he's got a broken leg. Hey, let's franchise tag him. Michael Gallup, you got an ACL. Hey, let's go ahead and get you a long-term deal. Terrence Steele, you got an ACL. Hey, let's put in a second-round tender for you. Dante, the shit will hit the fan tomorrow. Tomorrow at 5 o'clock, Marriott is supposed to have turned over the video, the name of the person that has actually brought whatever, we don't actually know that, as well as whom the hotel talked to at the NFL and at the NFL Network, as well as ESPN. Mark bragging about Dak choking in the playoffs, laugh out loud. Like it or not, OG would fit the vote. Well, he may. But again, Diva coming off 2 knee surgeries on the same knee, one of which was screwed up. He's not going to come in cheap. You think he's going to take less than Michael Gallup? You think he's going to take less than Michael Gallup? What do I think I think the big move that they're talking about is Odell. I hate to say that, but I think that's the big move. Jalen Smith, you might not ever get feeling in your foot. Hey, there you go, Carolina Cowboy. Yep. Hey, they constantly do that. It's like, you know what? I want some guys that are young and uninjured. Well, I appreciate you saying I'm a funny guy, Coach Terrence. Jerry got to be aggressive like Howie. But see, I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened to Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones used to be the guy who wouldn't accept anything but excellence. Jerry Jones was the guy who used to take chances. And now Jerry Jones is the guy who's rolling up at 7-Eleven buying wine. Hey, let's go on over to 7-Eleven. You know they got some great vineyards over there at 7-Eleven. They got such a selection of that wine. Come on. Seriously. What happened to Jerry Jones? In this bullshit that he said, I literally had to get the bottle here. Don't make me pour another one out this week. when we heard him talking about, when we had, Tony Pollard in that game and Zeke Elliott, I looked at that because he's got his hand. I don't know if he thinks he's about to fight. I don't know if he feels like he's got to put his hands up here to fight because he knows he's pissing you off. But he was like, with Zeke Elliott, with Tony Pollard, when Tony got hurt, that one injury changed the game. But I still believe with that Zeke Elliott and that Tony Pollard, that we can win with those guys. That's what I'm just like, yo. I just don't even know. So here's what we do know as far as the Cowboys' directions. We do know Tony Pollard is tagged. They're still somewhere about $8 or $9 million with the extra money over the cap because they're putting in a second-year tender for Terrence Steele, another guy who's coming off injury, which will be about $4.8 million. So we're bringing back Terrence Steele. They say he'll be ready by training camp. The Cowboys overestimate always on injury recoveries. Just saying. You got Tony Pollard. You've got Terrence Steele. Leighton Vander Esch is pretty much looked like he's gone. Donovan Wilson looks like he's gone. Cooper Rush, he's gone. Zeke Elliott, I believe it's smoke and mirrors, but I think Zeke Elliott's gone. Zeke Elliott's people were supposed to gauge his value at the combine and seeing the amount of running backs that are out there and seeing that people are committing to long-term deals. To guys. If they get Daniel Jones's deal done before tomorrow, it sounds like they are close, that it may be the last minute, but they get it done. Well, see, here's the problem. There's redo, and then there's restructure. See, the problem, Tony, is the Cowboys are famous for restructuring deals. And the question is, does Zeke really have enough left to help us get over the hump? That is the quintessential question. Because too many times what the Cowboys look at is not what a guy cost. See, you don't look at what a guy cost. You look at what a person can produce. You follow me? I mean, which is better? You have a guy who can pump out, say 50 of whatever your product is in an hour, but he costs you twice as much as the guy who can only put out 3 of them? Which is a better value? He costs you twice the amount of money, but his production is 15 times more. This guy is cheap, but he's only getting out 3 of what this guy is putting out an hour of 50. And that's the difference. But we got a guy who's putting out 3 who's costing you is more than the guy that's putting out 50. See, this is where running back, you got to understand. Army Mom Heather, what's up? You got to understand the problem with running backs is there is no retirement home for them, okay? There is no pension plan for them. Running backs, you use them, you get rid of them. And it's a harsh reality. It sucks. You don't see the Derrick Henrys in the Super Bowl. You just don't. I can name 2, then the rest are detectable. I'm not arguing with you, but I'm ready to clown them. That's all. Eagles fans are making a mistake in believing in Hurts. He got lucky this year, a soft schedule, and hurting San Francisco quarterback in the playoffs. It could end up being the RG3 Carson Wentz thing. Zeke probably should have not gotten the second contract. As a Washington fan, please keep Zeke. We need a new look in the. I'm with you on that one, Cowboys. I'm actually, I'm going to sound crazy here, but I've been kind of saying this a couple of days now with my man Game Time. I would say, don't pay Tony and make Zeke a post-June first cut. Take the $21 million. The $21 million. Get yourself a lights-out offensive lineman and another player. And draft a running back. There's some really serviceable running backs in the draft. And if you've got a great offensive line that's giving your quarterback time, great offensive line, opening up holes. Damn, Mark, you hacked what I said. It's all good. Let me go back to see let me go back to that, see if I can get it. Where was it, Twiz? I didn't understand it. I can name two, then the rest are debatable. I'm not arguing with y'all, but I'm not ready to crown them just yet. That's all. You can name. What did I do on that one? Come on, prime time. What do you know? Hey, Brian, you know it's nothing but love here, bro. You know I've been hitting the head a lot of time, and I'm old. I'm old, man. I'm old, and I'm getting dementia. What's going on, Dave? Welcome, man. Better late than never, buddy. I'll be dancing if we draft Gibbs. Oh, okay. Jalen Hurts has 2 wins in the playoffs in his career. So sign Wilson. Well, we're not going to be. It doesn't look like we're going to be signing Wilson. Wilson as well as, but that's not to say that they don't go out and get a deal. I mean, don't get a deal and come back and work it out. Because the Cowboys are famous for letting guys hit the streets to see what they can get. Come on, primetime. You know I did it the last time as just to mess with you, okay? Jeez, Game Time. I hate to see Wilson go. Tony, a guy that's got 100 tackles last year, who's your in-the-box safety. We don't have money for that, but we got money for Tony. We got money for Zeke. That dude guy in 4 more seasons. Zeke was a monster, but yeah. Chris, sadly, that's the truth. Unfortunately, running backs take a lot of abuse, and there's nothing you can do about it. All right, so back around to what's going on in the NFL. The rumor mill. Well, we know Geno Smith got his deal. Geno Smith signed 3 years, 105. We know Derek Carr signed his 4 years, $150 million. We got Daniel Jones close on getting his deal done. We've got guys like Orlando Brown is going to be released by Kansas City. Allen Robinson looks like he's being shopped around. Not that I'm saying we should go get wide receiver Allen Robinson from the Rams, but the Rams look to be imploding all of their contracts and trying to start all over, so you may be able to get one of those guys. But the thing I would say right now is there are some valuable pieces out there that the Cowboys will never take a shot at because that's not what they do. You're seeing some really decent players. Donovan, Dave, the Cowboys are just choosing to say you're too expensive. And Leighton Vander Esch, Frank Clark is another one that's out there. And you're going to see some other ones as well. But they're at the point of just saying that those two guys are too expensive. So Leighton Vander Esch, Donovan Wilson will be free agents. It's not to say that the Cowboys won't bring him back. It's possible, but, they can probably get deals elsewhere. Leighton Vander Esch actually showed his worth when he was injured, when we really had a hard time stopping the run. So, I don't know. If you're letting Leighton Vander Esch go and you end up getting Bobby Wagner, I'm okay with that. But I want to see this big move that the Cowboys were talking about a couple days ago. And I hope it's just not some bull jiggity that we're signing Odell Beckham Jr. Thoughts, anybody? Cowboys want to win their way instead of just winning. Put Diggs as a wide receiver. But Tony Pollard, we need him. I'm not saying we don't need him, but see, you got to look at it from the standpoint of, and I say it's the chicken and the egg. Are you better off with a really good running back and a crappy line? Or are you better off with a great line and average running backs? You follow me? I say Tony Pollard is not great at keeping Dak Prescott upright. Tony Pollard's a good weapon. But if you invest in the offensive linemen, you're getting guys that are going to open up holes and guys that are going to protect the quarterback. To me, the money is better spent there. That's just me. The Cowboys always like to have the sizzle more so than the substance. They always like the wide receivers, the running backs and stuff. And typically, for the most part, the linemen are passé. The one time that they ended up doing it was because they knew they had to protect their investment of Tony Romo. And they took 3 number ones and invested on the offensive line. And that offensive line was really, really good. Jerry's back. Yeah, of course. Yeah, Jerry's back to the point. If there were a player out there that we could, definitely get there's no guarantees. There are no guarantees, Jerry. So in other words, what you're saying is that's just the same as you saying last year, if it was just about writing a check for the Super Bowl, I'd write a check. There's no check too big that I wouldn't write. Well, you wouldn't write a check for, Von Miller, right? You wouldn't write a check any longer for Amari Cooper. So I'm just at the point of, like everybody else, calling bullshit on Jerry Jones. How about no running back? The way you talk is what you're saying. No, Patrick. No, Patrick, I'm not saying that. I'm actually saying there are decent running backs that are free agents that are expensive because right now people have devalued them. And there's some great running backs in the draft. Rushmore 9. Hey, Mark, the Cowboys never said there was something big company. That was YouTubers. Well, it was talking heads that are also YouTubers. But, okay. But if you say so, if you want to say that they never said anything. They did say that they were going to be adding some firepower. They did say that they recognized that they needed to add more weapons for Dak Prescott. I know that's a lot to give Kenny G, rock and roll, rock in the draft, rookie we need on defense. Geno definitely got the bag after one good year. You still see Aaron Rodgers going to the Jets? Well, it sounds like the Packers are ready for him to move on. And I can't say that I blame him because he has been a pain in the ass. I got to check this. Yeah, okay, I already got that. Yeah, we know Frank Clark's been released. Sorry, everybody's always texting me with updates and everything else. But yeah, there are going to be some guys that you can get. Very negative about our Cowboys. Well, yeah, maybe, okay, maybe, just maybe. We were negative last offseason and we went at least 12-5. Aisha Robinson, how are you doing today? Very negative about our Cowboys. Dallas trash tagging pot. Okay. I would have tagged Wilson instead of Paula. Here's the thing I worry about with Tony Pollard is last year, broken leg. The year before, plantar fasciitis. And if he is going to be the workhorse, is his body going to be able to hold up? Am I crazy on that one? Game time? Game time, you know they're not going to give us anything positive. They know it doesn't matter what they do. We're still going to be Cowboy fans. We are crazy like that. They need a good four-back if Zeke come back. Okay. Well, I'm of the guild that we can end up doing it running back by committee. But the key to me is still we need the offensive line taken care of first and foremost. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Lisa, how are you doing tonight, Lisa? Bookie Johnson, you got my back. I appreciate that because Lord knows I got enough people trying to stab me in it. Dude guy, people don't give an F about the number of playoff wins or games won. It's Super Bowls. Okay. They're going to draft a workhorse. Pollard is not a workhorse. Well, but Brandon, then why are you paying him $10 million? Trade Dak. Seattle just signed Geno, BJ. If I was the Cowboys, I would have tagged Wilson, let Tony hit the market. Too many good running backs in the draft. I agree with him on that. He is definitely not a workhorse. But you're paying him $10 million. I need $10 million worth of production out of him. I like Malik Davis. He was, Dirty Sanchez. I'm kind of wondering why they didn't play Malik Davis in the playoff game after Tony Pollard got hurt. You see, in the limited times he's played, he's actually played rather well. You think that the Eagles take B.J. Robinson at 10. Wow. Brandon, I have no idea. They're going to be changing offenses. They'll probably be trying to get him more of the ball in space, which is definitely what you want to do with him. And that's the way the West Coast offense works. And that's where I don't really feel like Zeke Elliott really fits the mold of a running back for the West Coast offense. Whoa, damn. Twiz Digga went balls deep on Enormous. Wow, okay. I guess that's carryover for someplace else. Enormous. I didn't even see an Enormous in here. Ooh-wee. Enormous definitely gets underneath Twiz Digga's skin. Damn. John Cena on Raw tonight. Okay, I'm not into wrestling. Defense at 10. That's like saying we haven't passed on a second round in 28 years because we won Super Bowls in the 70s and 90s. Okay. Philadelphia is back as always. Let's go for D-Hop. We still see Dez Bryant hanging out with Hopkins, definitely working out in Dallas. Zeke to Tampa with Skip Pete. Okay. Well, all right, good people. We've got our updates on what's going on with the Cowboys right now. And we're going to get ready to roll up out of here. And hopefully we get this shit together with the Cowboys. I got to say, the Cowboys, man, I was all excited and hyped up, but right now, I just don't know what to think. I really just don't know what to think. I feel like we're just falling into the same trap, and I've got my big shot glass ready tonight. All right, let's roll on out of here. We'll get to the fireside chat, and then, of course, God willing, I'll see you tomorrow. Philadelphia, you'll send me $500 super chat if I stay for overtime. Dude, I'm tired, man. I'm tired of taking all the abuse from you guys, man. Hold on to your money, bro. Hold on to your money. I'm going to go ahead because I've got to get up early in the morning. I got to get down the road and do a whole bunch of work and stuff, and I've got a lot of things. But I appreciate the fact that you do want me to stay for a little bit longer. I'm just not feeling it good today night, man. But I appreciate it, though. It's time to turn out the lights. This party's over.
Turn out the lights. The party's over. They say that all good things must end. Call it a night. The party's over. And tomorrow and next year starts the same old thing again.